Okay, so you should not leave your printer unattended, otherwise what happened here, and you get this tangled mess of, looks like mostly fine print, but we're gonna go for version 2. Hey, how you doing? I'm Nick. I thought about calling this video Problems Were Had, but we'll see how that goes. So I wanted to build the Sith Acolyte helmet. This was the first one I made. Came out great off of the print bed. I was very happy with it. But I sort of rushed a few things in order to get it ready for The Last Jedi. So there were a few alignment issues. I sort of rushed through, and if you look really close you can see them. So I wanted to see about that. Also, when I primed and sanded everything, I lost a few details, especially these little mouth indents in here, just because I ran out of super glue and I rushed to get everything together. There's a ton of hot glue in here, which isn't bad, but it wasn't completely what I wanted. So I had to fix a lot of things to make the alignment look right and all that. And the paint job didn't quite come out the way I wanted. I don't know if you can tell, but this has like, it was a black, and then I put over a red translucent that they have for the car lights. And I thought it would be this nice subtle red, but it's a little too subtle, and then I weathered. But it's okay. I just thought I might be able to do better. And the worst thing was that I didn't know what to do when I was done with it. So I just really got a lot of glue in here and got this Velcro strapping here. The problem is when you put it on, it presses against it presses right against your temples, and that's not so comfortable. So I thought I could do better. I got a few more tools since this build, and I thought I'd try it again. Few problems. I got this. Can I do this again? That's fine. So I got this new print bed base, and I'm really excited because I didn't want to be using the blue tape and the glue stick. So I got this, and the first few prints were great. The only problem was when I started on this build, I had some issues where I made a complete, I don't know if you can see this, just a complete mess of a few builds. And yeah, I was trying to figure out what the deal with that was. I got a lot of incomplete builds before the nozzle seemed to topple things over. So my first one, I had 4 of the pieces on the plate, and when everything toppled over, I thought maybe the problem was that there was too much cooling, not enough adhesion in between, and things started lifting, and so maybe that's what knocked everything over. Besides, I started off with a 0.2 millimeter print, which is nice, but I really wanted to try the 1 millimeter. I wanted to see how smooth, 0.1 millimeter, I wanted to see how smooth I could get it. My second one started coming out pretty nice until partway through some of the support fell off, and I did some death-defying MacGyvering to try to, here it is, sandwich some foam together. That didn't work on a print bed. I should have known that wouldn't work. So I used some of the support from the first piece because I had walked away and had gotten taller. I used some of the support from the first piece, and when the time was right, I tried to sandwich in against this this chin piece. Is that the, yeah, sandwich in against this chin piece. That eventually fell over, and all was lost and squiggly and terrible. So I split it up into a few different prints this time, and that worked a lot better. I finally got the prints. These are nice. These are very, very nice. Very smooth. That's kind of a weird pocking that came up. I don't know why that was, but these are very nice. The only issue was to get it to stay on the print bed solidly, I had to make a raft, which made these the bottom layers of these really rough, and I don't know why they look kind of melty. So I had concerns about that. I'll do close-ups too, but sort of rough and melty. And my problem was when I just looked to assemble, for some reason, the alignment, this one's just a little bit lower, and that's not so good. I don't know why, because these are on the same bed, so I don't know why when they printed at the same time that I have like kind of a dramatic difference. But I am going to see if when I sand this down a bit, maybe I can still make everything align. So that's where I am now. Oh, this was nice. Actually, I printed these right up next to each other, and it printed them right sealed together, which was excellent. I shouldn't poke with that too much, but this came out as one piece, which was nice. And so the only problem I have with this is the rough bottom, and so I think that won't be a problem. But I'm going to sand these down quite a bit and see, hopefully, if everything will still align, and we will take it from there. But wish me luck. We will see from there. All right. Okay, so now that I've filled the inside seams with hot glue, that's pretty sturdy, it's time to sand and prime. Okay, so my next step after doing a quick blast of primer was to try to line up the lines as best I could. So there's a bunch of different files. I don't know if you can see that. Can I refocus? I'll put it in after then. But tried to line these up as best as possible. Came out best here. And then I'll have to work on that. But it's not too bad. Nose needs a lot of work. And it's not bad either. So the next thing I'm going to do is I pull out a little Bondo, and we will see about filling in some of these gaps. Let's see. Okay, so gloves, good. Or it's going to be embarrassing as I try to figure out how to use it, so let's come back. Alright, so after the Bondo seems to have cured pretty well, this is what we have, and when I start sanding and filing, we'll find out if I made a big mistake. So, I think it'll be okay. Alright, so sanding. So, a ton of sanding with 80 grit paper and a sanding sponge, and a ton of filing and a little bit of stabbing. Don't know why I thought that was a good idea, but I think we're in pretty good shape. Carved out a lot of the detail back after I bondoed everything in, and the seam looks pretty good. I won't know for sure until I hit it with another bit of primer. Okay, so with a new coat of primer on, I can see we've still got pretty good seam here. So mix up just a little bit of Bondo and see if I can do this a little more gracefully this time. Okay, so gone ahead and put Bondo on a few more times, primed a few more times. It's nice and rubberized now. Feels good. So I'm going to start airbrushing. Let's see, I want to improve on this guy. So I think I'm going to try, because I didn't airbrush this before. That's just spray painted. What I'm going to try is I have a new airbrush kit, and I'm going to start with the Vallejo gunmetal. I also have black, and I don't know if I wanted to mix a little bit of bronze. I also have some flow improver with, so I can apply an abundance of caution since it's not necessarily rated for an airbrush. And I do want a red tint, so I might see about spraying some in the cap and mixing some of the nightshades in. Okay, so 2 coats of the nightshades. I have a nice metallic backed red, but you know, it looks a little too clean. How can we see that? That rust color went a long way to knocking off a lot of that new sheen. Nice rusty gunk in all the crevices. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go a tiny bit of this, where did I put it? Gunmetal. This is what I have so far. It's coming along nicely. Just trying to dust the edges as lightly as I can. So this is essentially the configuration. I've got 3 50/50 color LEDs on here. There's a strip of 3 each. And keep a 9-volt in the chin. I did my tests, even though these are rated for 12 volt, a 9 volt will light them up. And maybe it won't be fully powered, but I think it'll serve our purpose. And then I have a little slider switch here. So now I'm just going to measure out the wires and see how I'm going to put it in here and then wire everything up. Alright, so it's all in. Initial fitting feels fine. I'll probably put some foam in just for comfort. But lights up. Where did the switch go? So I'm going to see what an initial look looks like.